Ashe family, this is your guy, man, Armand Rose, aka Edwin Rose, aka the Conscious Cowboy, aka the Las Vegas Cowboy. So, as I posted yesterday, at I was going to do a quick rabbit hole video about who is this evil angel, these evil angels that was cast out before Satan. Because I know during my research that, the angel that was cast out third, which y'all call Satan, Lucifer, he was cast out third. Once again, I keep trying to tell y'all, read the book of Enoch. I do believe the story of John, it mentions him as well. Another one of the books mentions him as well, because it also breaks down that he was the tree, or he was the one that deceived Eve. Now, when you tie it all together, like, all of this is going to be, man, this is a spider web of connection, right? Like I told you guys, everything is connected. You got to believe that. So if you want to follow this, you want to do your research, you're going to have to look up other things. First thing is you're going to have to go read the book of Enoch. And I hope I get these Greek Celtic names, Norse names correct. Okay? Because technically you've heard of it, but you probably didn't dive into it. Like, I've heard of some of these names. I've heard of Azazel. I've heard of Azazel before. But let's dive into this. Let's talk about, because, quick overview, I saw a TikTok video that said the first angel kicked out was the most evil angel. And they went, just spitting now that I actually did the research, just spitting all type of rhetoric, right? But the post was, the first angel was more evil than Satan, okay? Now, I'm going to say this so you guys can get it later. Satan is a combination of all of these. Satan, a.k.a. the devil, a.k.a. Lucifer, a.k.a. Hallel, a.k.a. Gadrael. He is the embodiment of all of this, a.k.a. God, a.k.a. Jesus, a.k.a. the Holy Spirit. The third angel is all of them. All of them. All of them. I don't care where you go, you're not going to escape that all of these entities is one big ball of information. They're the same. All right? So let's break it down. So now we're going to talk like they're all separate, right? So, yes, I found out who the leader of, and I hope I get this name right. It is, I got my little tabs up. It is Guy Gori, okay? The Guy Gori, Grigori. You can look it up. Grigori, I do believe that. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Also known as the Watchers. Now, I've done some research. I've played with, I've definitely dove deep into this Bible. I've heard of the Watchers. I never put it together that the Watchers were the angels. I never put it together that the Watchers actually the fallen angels. So the group of angels, and once again, this is Jewish text, right? The group of angels are the Grigori, okay? Known as the Watchers. So, this information was so easy to find out. I thought of, I made the post yesterday about this. I thought it was going to take me weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of studying, but no, not this one. And this is why I get mad sometimes at our people. You guys never look this shit up. They're not even trying to hide the information no more. Type in, that's why I gave you the spelling for Grigori. Type that in and see what pulls up. Type in the leaders of the Gigori. Type in who are the fallen angels of the Gigori. Type it in. So these angels were in heaven. They rebelled against God. God cast them out. Okay? So let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. So who's number one? So there was 3 angels that we know of that were mentioned that was cast out. Well, there was 3 angels that were the leaders of the watchers that was cast out. Remember, they took 1/3. So you have all these other angels that you will hear about, and these that you would know about. Okay, Azazel is being one of them that I've always heard about. So let's break it down. So the Watchers, aka the Gigori, Sam Yazi is the leader, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. It's Samyaza. I don't know if you want to say Samyazi or Samyazi. We're just gonna call him Sam for right now, okay? Now, second in charge, I've heard of him before, is Azazel. Okay, he was the second in command. You can read this shit. You can actually Google these names, and it'll tell you that he was second in command. Okay. Now, the one that's third in command was Satanal, aka Satan, aka Lucifer. Right. Well, this is not about him though, because we know if you read the book, he was the third one cast out. Now, this is where you got to read and go back and do some of them videos where I showed you in original text, his name was not Lucifer. His name was not, they didn't cast out Lucifer. They casted out Gadriel, which is short for God. Okay, so your God of the Bible is the third angel cast out. I've made all these videos to connect all those dots. So now, when you start reading this shit, you can see again where they changed it from Lucifer to Satanal. Satanal was the third in charge of the Watchers. He was the third one cast out. And it even tells you right here, his Slavic name, Satanal, is associated with Satan. It tells you. So you can connect the dot. That one was like super easy to connect the dot. But once again, it's not about Satan, right? This is just proving that all of this shit is connected. This is just proving that all of this shit is one big knot of lies. Okay, so now let's get back to Sam Yaza, whatever the fuck, however fuck you pronounce it. Now let's get back to Sam, right? Sam and Azazel. Now, Azazel. Now the post was that these entities were more evil, had more power than Satan. You know, they were more deadlier than him. So now, of course, what I did was, what special powers did they have? I thought, Lucifer was the most powerful, most beautiful one, because that's what the story tells us. So here's another thing. All right. So when you try to research these brothers, they give you this much, right? But once again, once you start reading and you recall the other information that you've read, you'll see. So I'm gonna tell y'all. So here's going back to that all these entities were connected. So Samyaza or Samyaza, let me read this, right? A figure from the Jewish occult traditions primarily associated with the book of Enoch. He is often depicted as a fallen angel and a leader of the Watchers. He is also identified as Azazel. So Sam Yaza is the leader, but he is sometimes identified as Azazel. How? See, they can't get away from separating. They can't get away from integrating each entity. Each lie, they integrated into another person, another lie. But that's okay. So the leader and the second in control are the same entity, right? So let's talk about, once again, what special powers did they have? When you research what special powers did Sam Yazel, whatever it's Sam, let's go. Yeah, stick with Sam. If you Google his full name and you ask what certain particular powers that Sam have, he had none. He had no powers. He's more evil than Lucifer. He's more wicked than Lucifer. What powers did he have? He had none. All right. Well, wow. That's kind of a twist. That kind of fucks up our story. So, what's going on with the dude? Can you give me some more information on the man? Oh, now we're going to integrate people into this story now. Okay, we're going to integrate people into this story. Okay, so this man, this entity, lusted after the women of earth. Okay, that was one of his downfalls. He lusted after the women of earth. Okay, now take it how you want it. Go where you want with that. We're going to leave that one right there because that's a whole nother video that we can dig on and talk about the giants. Talk about, you know, how they now want to steal that they created the giants. Okay, it's going to be a whole different thing because now we're talking about people being conquered. We're talking about people, you know, because once again, this is somebody that's cast out of heaven. They start mating with the women and making their own children. That's called being conquered. That's called rape. That's called, you got to call a spade right here. Okay, so we're not going, like I said, we're not going to go too deep in it, but I just want you guys to understand where this is going. Okay, that's what it is. How else are you going to see this? Okay, so now, what was so evil about what they were doing? If they really loved women, not the American, but if they really loved the women of earth and they were having children and making babies, that's on them. There ain't nothing evil about that. So you keep digging. Now you're going to read that he also taught ancient secrets, gave the humans ancient technology, gave them technology that rivaled any other time period. And so now it's starting to make sense to me. Now I'm starting to grasp why this other person said that they were so evil. Because anybody of the church, anybody of any religion will tell you one of the most wicked things is knowledge. But the Bible tells you to seek knowledge. The Bible tells you to go out there and look for it. The Bible tells you that. No, the Bible says if you want to do right, if you want to do things a certain way and be a good person, you should seek knowledge. You should seek the truth. Knowledge. But then in the same sentence and paragraphs, they say that it was the downfall. How you have so much technology, how you get so much wisdom from an angel or whatever the case may be, and it was the downfall of the human race. How can you get that? So now you got to stop it right there, right? You got to stop it right there, because that's the whole thing of calling this man the most evil is because of knowledge. Because he knows that this is not a good thing. He knows that this is something that we shouldn't be getting involved in. Because even if you want to just go right back to Satan and say, well, why did Satan rebel against God since he's a good God? Why are they having wars in heaven? See, this is something that a lot of Christians ain't gonna axe their head. because it'll crack their forehead wide open. Like, if this is really, really something that we should be following and worshiping, why is there turmoil in heaven? You don't ask yourself that. And Satan ain't the number one watcher that got kicked out. The number one watcher is the man that provided knowledge. He's more evil. Come on, man. If anything, this makes this entity more interesting to try to find out. And of course, they're not giving, like I said, they're giving you this much now. If you want to go and dig deeper, dig deeper. But Samuel Zal is the first angel kicked out. Azazel, which is also connected to him, or Sam identifies as him, is the second in charge, and Satanal, which is reference to Satan, is the third in charge. So can we say that they're all connected? Can we say that they're all tied into one? Because now you can actually go back and see where Satan is a knowledge bringer. Satan is the bringer of truth. Satan is a light of truth, a beacon of truth. He's a beacon of light. Even when his first appearance, he tells you, hey man, you're not going to die. He tells you the truth. He said, you'll have knowledge. He said, you'll think like him. So they wiped out these other two and focused on Satan, but brought in those same characteristics. Like I said, all of this shit is connected. All of it. So the rabbit hole is this, and exposing this bullshit ass book again, which it ain't easy. It ain't hard to do anymore, because once again, if you guys go back and like I said, the main one to start with in this video is the Book of Enoch. If you can go back, if you're a Christian or if you're a conscious person and you want to verify all the things that I've said, the Book of Enoch will show you. Okay, I did another video. I might tag it on here about the other books. The Book of Adam. The Book of Adam also talks about how evil God is. He's not the God that you guys think he is. He's a tyrannical God. They were his slaves. If y'all read the book, now you can see it's all connected. But I was just wondering, who is this first angel? Because I never had any drive to look him up. But yeah, he's the leader of the Watchers. Gregorian bullshit. And here's the thing, it's all in fictional narrative. So if the Watchers are fictional, which they came from heaven, and Satanal is fictional, so is God and Jesus. And like I said, I've broken down how they changed it throughout the years, throughout the millennials of using God Real, from using, there's another name it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't think of it. They've used all these different names for these creatures and these entities, and then all of a sudden they just shorten it down to God. They don't even talk about the Gregorian people anymore like that, or angels anymore like that. And what's, like I said, for me, what was so funny is you talk about the first and the second angel being referred to as the same angel. So, man, it's just like, damn, this shit is not that hard to decipher. Once you see them, they're admitting to combining the entities in here. So that's the rabbit hole, man. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be weeks to find this out. I mean, the first thing I pulled up was bam, Gregorian. They were the Watchers. They were the fallen angels. Give you references. The Book of Enoch. Okay, go get the PDF of the Book of Enoch and read it. They have many fictional narratives. Okay. Wow. Well, who was the leader? Sam. Azael, and Satanal. Other leaders. Okay, let's look at the other leaders. Let's see during the course of my studies, have I actually and this is the first time I'm reading this, right? So let's see if the other leaders, if I've ever talked about any of them or if I've ever read any of them, and I'll try to give you the information. The other Gregorian leaders mentioned include look like Arakano, Ramel, Cabal, talked about him. Ramal, talked about them. Daniel, Chizekel, Brazekel, Azel, we talked about him. Bazal is Babazal. Bazal, I've talked about him. Shemel, man. So, and then it got links that you can click onto them and it'll show you who they are, what they're supposed to be, give you a little bit more information of the watchers. So there's the rabbit hole video, y'all. I hope that you can link on to some other information and start reading and researching yourself. And once again, man, I do this because I love y'all. Hotel.